If you don't like the heat, don't bring the heat. It's really simple.
I don't bring hate.
Did you? Okay.
I've been getting hated on the stage, been called a victim and all of that.
I'm asking you a question, a simple question, okay? Just respectfully. Did you have any problem whatsoever when he was racializing white people at all?
Not really, because he was talking about an experience in history. So no, not really. He was talking about a certain time.
Okay.
He wasn't talking about today. He was talking about a certain time and an experience. No, bitch, I'm not married to Grandpa Smurf. Whoever said that in the chat.
Hey, look.
Ignorant ass.
I forgot more than you people in this fucking room know. Okay, that's just the fucking truth. Now, whoever Rio is, you have something to say to me? Say it to me.
No, I'm too scared. Let me just go and cower in a corner. Wow, you're attacking my sexuality. You've known me for like 15 seconds, and
well, if you're a faggot,
I'm gay.
If you're a faggot, you'll shut up, and if you're not, you'll keep talking.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
See how that works?
Wow, geez. Just so I can clarify, I don't intend to be able to shut up. I don't intend to have a conversation with you, though.
Hold on, real quick. I'm going to reset the room. JB, we got a little off track here. We had a special guest. Grandpa Smurf came to visit us, and we were talking. Surprise, about reparations.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody brought up reparations, so of course that becomes the theme of the room. If you keep talking while I'm talking, okay, listen. You're going to understand. You cannot speak while I'm speaking. It just doesn't work that way. I'm resetting the room. I'm giving the information that JB missed, so he knows the proper context. So Grandpa Smurf comes in, and he wants to tell us about all of his wisdom because of, he's lived so long and he's lived through all these things. And so that what he wanted to highlight to show and illustrate the pettiness of white people, and this is all before he called Roe a faggot. I thought that was interesting. But his big grievance, check this out. His big grievance was white people in the 70s burning disco records. You can't make this shit up. Like he didn't talk about Jim Crow. He didn't talk about slavery. What he said was, white people have gone too far because in the 70s they burned disco records. This really happened. It's fucking. I just didn't realize how attached to disco some people were. Look, guys, we could fucking make these records. They're digitized now. We can go listen to them if we'd like to. If you want to listen to disco, man, knock yourself out. Matter of fact, if we get Uncle Steve in here, we could just play a couple disco songs, a couple requests for Papa Smurf. Let's see. Hold up. Don Harris says, Roger. I don't know who Roger is. The elder did indeed talk about all those things. We were in the room with y'all. Actually, no. What he did is he invoked how old he was, as if that's evidence that he knows everything. I know plenty of old people that don't know shit. He's one of them. And when having an opportunity in this room to impart some wisdom, he decided to talk about disco records. Go ahead, JW. Talk about disco.
No, I decided to make that part of my
Any man can be swayed by a single dismember. He thought he could keep their child with secrets. How much was disgusting.
It bothers
JB, I'm sorry, JW, may I ask you a question? Nice to meet you. How did you feel about disco night in Chicago when the White Sox had it? And they burned like 50,000 records.
When it was happening, I read about it in the paper, but it's the same thing as when they got mad at Jack Johnson, the great white coat back in 1919, and the white people went crazy because they lost a boxing match. This is what I'm telling you. These people are petty. You're fucking petty.
Wait, JW, do you think that Jack Johnson got charged with the Mann Act because he beat up a white guy?
Hey, see, we're not talking about that. You want to change the subject? Oh,
You just brought up Jack Johnson.
no.
I asked you.
I'm telling you about the white people who went crazy about their lives when they lost the fucking black men.
The unified field theory. Ultimate
Okay, I'll ask the question.
Charge Jack Johnson for the Mann Act because Jack Johnson was with white women and he was bragging about it.
Listen, my friend, I get it. I'm very versed in Jack Johnson being charged with the Mann Act, but I was curious because JW brought him up. And I was curious because he beat up a white boxer. Was that the real reasoning? You guys are charged with the Mann Act, not to bring pretty white women across state lines?
I've never said anything about it. I said what I said. You can ask dumb questions on it.
Well, then let me just inform you, that's my reputation on the app. I ask dumb questions.
Right? You lived up to it.
You're crazy. Can I address the title, please?
Well, since you said please, of course.
This is gonna be good. Well, I think I believe racism is taught in the home and on the street society. You know, America is a white supremacist settler colony, Christian nationalist state, and so white supremacy, racism, anti-blackness is played out in the media. It's played out in the homes of Americans of all races, creeds, and colors, nationalities, social economic status. And so, yeah, racism is, I certainly believe that racism is a learned behavior, although otherism is maybe natural to humans. I believe racism itself is a learned behavior, taught behavior, and a socialized ideology.
Thank you. Rose, how you doing, Rose? Long time no speak.
I know, right? No, I'm doing good. Just busy on business. How are you doing, JB?
I'm living my best life here in Brooklyn. You still?
I know. We're supposed to be meeting in Brooklyn.
Well, you say when and where, and I'm there, because that's pretty small, but
Absolutely.
I gotta be careful because Rory will sound love bomb. You are a beautiful woman.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
He called me a beautiful woman as well. So,
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so just adding on to the topic, I believe that it's definitely a home learned situation with racism. Having said that, I was actually raised in Namibia. Well, Namibia, South Africa, where apartheid was happening at the time. And, most of my parents were like, the Germans are coming and the English people are coming, so we need to protect ourselves. So my tribe is Herero in Namibia. And we were actually, pretty much colonized by the Germans. And we had to fight them throughout the war to, to protect our land. So I don't want to say too much, but I feel like it's a homely thing instead of the streets. I'm just going to mute my mic, but if anybody else wants to say something, I'm available.
Have you experienced racism here in America?
Of course, yes, I have experienced. And funny enough, it's actually from my own people, the blacks. Based on the fact that, I'm from Africa. And I've never experienced it from other nationals or, American citizens or whatsoever, but mainly from my own people. I'm your mama.
I love it the way you say the black.
Is that trigger you say?
What was that? Sorry.
Funny as hell. It was just
Someone made a comment. I think that was you, Sarah. You said black people are the most racist. How dare you say something like that? That's a very ignorant statement.
I'm just being honest on my
Hey, I'm listening to Rose. I'm listening to Rose, and I commented to her, for someone who keeps saying, Sarah, I don't want to be involved in talking to you.
Because you keep making insults.
Everything I write in the
You keep
chat,
making insults. That's
you
what
have to make a comment about it. I don't care what you say. That's my
I don't care either.
You literally said we have slave survivors, and in 1969 we had slaves in America, and you still haven't proved it. So yeah,
I told you to go Google, dummy.
No, I'm not Googling anything. You made it
So then don't believe it.
You
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Listen,
Don't believe it. How could you sit up here and say just because they abolished slavery that there still wasn't slavery?
All right, can we ease up on the black on brown violence? Chill out, please.
He's not brown.
Real life as well. I work in corporate America, and based on the fact that I'm from Africa, I actually experience more racism with the Black Americans.
Hey, Rose.
Let me address that because I hear this all the time now.
Oh, go ahead.
And you know, the thing is that here's a reality. It's called othering, right? And you get teased. In the Asian community, they talk about this. They talk about how here in Los Angeles, especially, which has the largest Asian population in the entire United States of America. And you will often hear in the Chinese community when Chinese would come over from China, how Chinese American children would mock them, make fun of them, make fun of their accents, even making fun of their eyes, because often Chinese American kids may have thought they had American eyes, didn't realize you had the same eyes as the Chinese coming over from China, but would mock them because of their eyes. Or if the person had a little white in them and they had kind of almond-shaped eyes, they would make fun of the Chinese kids. The same thing you happen in the Laotian community as well as in the Korean community versus Korean Americans coming over Koreans coming over into Korean Americans communities, Laotians or Japanese Americans coming over into a Chinese American community. The kids would tease them relentlessly and make fun of them. So if you're foreign, if you're different, yes, you're going to find it. That's not racism. That's just othering you.
And not only that, let me add something, because I know your folks, on the ship, the kids, okay, well, look, kids are just freaking mean in the first place. I mean, hell, in every middle school or junior high across this country, that's just the way, that was just part of life. You were going to get, if you stood out just a little bit, or, you had a peer group, hey, you're going to get a nickname, you're going to get something. So, not life is not easy.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Leave mute up, thank you. This beautiful woman, Rose, she's driving, right? And she gets pulled over, and the cop says, license, registration, and she got pulled over because she's black, right? So she turns to the cop and say, no, officer, you're wrong. I'm not black. I'm African. Because my own people won't accept me. So I'm African. I'm not really black. Does that make sense?
I don't think anybody making that hard.
Not really. Not
Let
really.
me tell you something, Rose. I'm half Nigerian and my mom is Black American.
Oh my God.
And I can tell you this: you get stereotyped on both sides. It's not just Black Americans; it's Africans too. Africans put down Black Americans just as well as Black Americans put down Africans.
No, that's not true. Africans put down Black Americans.
Let her finish, bro. Let her finish.
But I'm just saying it goes both ways, and I've experienced it because of my dad. He's Nigerian, and my mom's Black American. So it goes both ways.
No, Because, sister, the reason why I disagree with you is because Nigerians have derogatory names for Black Americans within their language and culture. Black Americans, we don't create and we don't have derogatory names culturally for Africans. They call Black Americans akatas, which means like lost path or inferring we're lost or people have no direction, right? Usually are culturalist people. And then they call us cotton pickers and all kinds of slave babies and all that shit. We don't refer to Africans that way. They run to the African booty scratcher, which is children. But culturally, we use that against each other.
Okay, thank you for that. I want to say hello to MG real quick. What's up, MG?
Hey, JB. How are you?
You're my favorite African on this earth.
Hey, JB, I just want to tell you that you living up to what you said. You asked a dumbass question.
Well, I still don't even know why you're on my stage or in my room, but go ahead, stay still. We will camera.
I think it's absolutely wild. I'd actually like.
I want to respond to
Jesus.
Abracadabra.
Yep. Okay. Black, thanks. Noja, really appreciate it. We're going to move it along. You've had a lot of mic time. There are other people who have just joined the conversation, including Lee, who's been trying to get in. But MG, welcome to the stage. Really lovely to see you as always. I'd love to be able to hear your contribution to it. I actually wanted to hear Rose, just beforehand. Rose was saying something. I just wanted to give her the opportunity to be able to maybe reflect upon a few things that have been said. See if you want to be able to add something to the conversation, Rose. No? Okay.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. MG, and we'll go to Lee.
Yeah, I just wanted to
that was
jump
kind
in
of
really
rude.
quickly.
That was
I
kind
just
of
want to jump in really quickly. I get tired of these conversations when you group all Africans. Like Ethiopians don't have a word for Black people, for the record.
Wait, who's
We
Creed?
don't have a single
MG, who's Creed?
Abracadabra
Thank you.
on stage. Creed, we don't have a word for African Americans in Amarinya. We really don't. So you guys group us. You guys group all Africans together. We're not a monolith. And I feel you, Rose. I feel the same way. I'm in shock when I hear Black people. I don't hear this in my real life, but I hear it on the app all the time, and it's stunning to hear the hate, the disgust. Like I don't have this experience in my real life with Black people, just on this app. So I understand what you're saying. It's incredibly shocking.
I didn't say all Africans. I literally said Nigerians have a derogatory term. I did not say all Africans. There are 54 countries on the continent of Africa, 3,300 ethnic groups. So I didn't say all
You
Africans.
said Africans, and I was in the chat. I was like, Nigeria.
Well, the thing is the thing is like, I'm just going based on my experience, just being an African. I have probably, I've been in Asia, I've been in Europe, and in the United States, and I believe that I've experienced a lot more racism in the United States. But other than that, it is just something that probably is thought about by the Black Americans. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can elaborate on that.
Are you saying that Black people teach their kids these prejudices and discriminate?
No, I did not say that. I say maybe it's just absolutely, but I believe it's just main on the fact that we have gone through a lot as Blacks throughout the world, colonizations or whatsoever, and that's why I made the point clear that even in Southern Africa, where I'm from, that's something that we also went through, and we were taught at home as well to kind of like, be careful with the other nations and protect yourself. So, JW, maybe you can explain as to how you guys were taught.
There's some places in my town I won't even go. And I don't give a damn who's there. I'm not going around. We get to a point in our life, you'll get there one day where you just figure it out. Like, hey, you know what? There's good people or there's bad people. And that
Barry is an extroverted leader.
Absolutely. And I mingle well with my Black Americans. Not to say broke. My ex-husband is Black American. My current husband is Black American. So, I just feel like maybe we should all educate ourselves with our culture and the way we were raised and what we went through in order to get along.
Let me ask everybody a question. I don't mean to hijack the room, but I just got to ask this. If you needed a kidney transplant, would you prefer to have a black kidney or a white kidney or a Chinese kidney or a Mexican kidney?
What you don't have a choice.
JW.
No.
Wait a second. Well, hold on, bro. You, I don't care if you finish or not, but you accuse me of asking stupid ass questions.
No,
You
okay,
a
that's
dummy.
fine. Well, you gotta wait till I'm done. Wait till I get finished with the question before, okay? Because there's a point to this. I don't say dumb shit for the hell of it. My simple point is, when people realize that under our skin, I know people do realize that, but be behind that fucking 8-ball, okay? Be behind that goddamn 8-ball. Then you'll understand this whole fucking thing. That's why I get so
You are making no sense. Zero sense.
I know because you're not able to understand me.
I think he asked a great question, JB, to be honest.
I don't know. He hasn't finished the question. He's talking about underneath.
This guy right here.
He just talked too much after he said it, but that question was good, JB. It was dumb as hell, but it made a lot of sense. What kind of kidney would you want?
I wouldn't give a fuck as long as I can live. I don't care.
There you go.
Pick both dice.
And that's the point. And that's the point why we shouldn't be racist, right? And that's why it was a great question. I loved it. He asked it. The brother dumb on a lot of things, but that question, that was nice.
I am not dumb. Shut the fuck up. You pissing me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant to say super dumb, not just dumb. Sometimes you're super dumb. I'll be honest with you. I appreciate it.
Like for you to solve.
Thank you for being dumb as hell again. I think.
Just solve
back to you, JB.
You know what's funny, Mom? You know what's funny, Ken?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
You come on Mike and support this guy, and he still has this whole for you.
Well, look, I told you he's dumb, JB. So.
What's wrong with you people? I bet you don't know a fucking thing. You know what y'all know? Y'all know the fucking internet. Y'all know fucking computers. I bet that's what you do.
JB, he's dumb. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Oh my God. Hey, can you fix a computer? Do you know what a fucking electron is?
Back to you, JB.
Fucking resistor. You don't know shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Alright, I moved him down so everybody could breathe all that intelligence in that he was spewing. Let me go to.
You never heard of a toxic relationship before, Pepe?
Man, I'm ready to go to bed now.
Faggot!
Len, how you doing?
It's fine. So I just wanted to address the point of the room, which is I read a really interesting book about this called Face to Face with Race by a guy named Jared Taylor. He writes for American Renaissance. And he had like 14 stories of like white people who were like perfectly neutral toward black people. And then they had the experience of like working with them, or like going to school with them, and their impressions changed for the worse. All right. And so I don't think it's something that you learn at home. I think that a lot of people go into situations and they're neutral, and then they start having enough experience with people, and they build up a dislike. Now you look at the area that we live in here. Okay, we have like this is mentioned by the way. We got like a lot of Arabs, you got a lot of Indians, a lot of Chinese. And you see those guys like meeting each other for the first time. You know, like their parents are immigrants and they come here and they meet like an Indian guy, like say a Chinese girl. And they find each other and you see them date each other and partner with each other all the time, even the international students. So the experience that they have with them is like neutral, and then they have an experience and it's positive, and then it's fine. But it just doesn't seem to work that way for like a lot more often for black people. And you come on Clubhouse and you listen to some of these rooms, and it's like, I don't think it's helping the situation. It's not going to help it. So if you had like a neutral white person and they downloaded this Clubhouse app and they happened to cross a room with some Hebrew Israelites, okay, and they just sat and just listened, I don't think that the impression would be positive. No, you are aware, you just used Jared Taylor. Jerry Taylor is a bona fide white supremacist who the black people are an inferior race. His mother believes that white people are an inferior race and that they should be